standing by to call the action. Here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thanks, Coach. Just north of the Delaware Expressway and east of Broad Street, we find ourselves at Lincoln Financial Field in South Philly. Just a short time ago, these Philly fans in full roar as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. Pyrotechnics ablaze. They're set to go as their Eagles will match up with Matthew Stafford and the Detroit Lions. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, you look at this Eagles team as they interplay here. It's an early test here after 2 losses to start the season, and a game they probably really need.
Obviously, no way do they want to get to 0-3. Not many teams make the playoffs with that kind of a start.
Meanwhile, for the Lions here, they come in at an early crossroads here, facing a tough opponent on the road where a loss would make them 0-3.
And when you start that way, doubts really start to creep into a locker room, and guys start to battle each other instead of worrying about winning games.
It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. Here are the Lions. Number 9, Matthew Stafford under center. And working with a new offensive coordinator this year who has said we are a running team. Not something you hear much nowadays, so it remains to be seen what that will mean for Stafford's numbers in 2019.
Hey, lady! It's just me and you. It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
4 yards on the dump off at second down.
Lady!
A look at Kerryon Johnson, second-year man out of Auburn. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that.
Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Zach Brown making his presence felt in the backfield. And they brought the pressure there just right up the gut, didn't they?
Yeah, they certainly did. And, you know, when you've got so many different responsibilities as an offensive line, you got to deal with the nose tackle, the 2 defensive tackles or ends, and then sometimes you just can't account for everyone. The linebacker slipped free.
62 yards on the punt that time. Wow. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 18. Wentz off the fake handoff to Howard. And on the catch right side, this is Sanders. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll bring up second down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on second down. Throwing now is Wentz. And that will be incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. We'll call that a 47-yard punt, a return of just 3. And the Lions will take over. And Detroit getting set to go now. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically, what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Sidney Jones. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
So after the INT, here's Wentz. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down. The Pro Bowl tight end Zach Ertz, the intended target. And that'll bring up second down.
Let's go. Let's get it together, defense. Let's get it together.
Here's Miles Sanders, the rookie second-rounder from Penn State. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. He was a second-round pick. Many scouts thought he could have gone higher than that.
And I was one of them. Even though I don't scout for any particular team, I had a first-round grade on him. And frankly, I'm surprised he lasted to the second round. They got a steal with this player.
They are under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. Nick Perry with a big-time sack on third down. It's a loss of 7.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game watching this offensive line because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page. NFL kickers nowadays, they make things look so easy because normally from this range, about 2 out of 3. And this is not an easy kick.
Yeah, 20 years ago, you get where he was in that 50 range, maybe a little over. And it's a big kick, but now we just, if they leave it short, you're like, whoa, what happened? And that's what we have here.
Yeah, you're right. 20 years ago, we were saying run some more plays and get closer. Now we think they're definitely within range, and you're exactly right. When it comes up short, there has to be something that went wrong because they have plenty of leg.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and that'll bring up a third down. Good opening quarter for him. Remember, he had the sack earlier. Now a tackle for loss, another tackle for loss.
He's really making it tough on the play call, though, isn't he? Because it's one thing to try and adjust when a guy is disrupting your running game. But when he's messing up your passing game as well, they may have to devote at least a second guy to him to try and keep him away from their plays.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it.
Come on, man. Let's go.
And out and out come the Eagles. It's been an awfully slow start for them. This is their 3rd possession. They don't have a first down yet.
So that means they have to change up what they're doing, and for some teams, it's a change in tempo, usually moving it to more up-tempo type of an offense just to try and change their fortunes right now. What they've been doing so far isn't working. Maybe they'll do that.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. To throw, it's Wentz being chased out left. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
Well, from an offense's perspective, that sure was pretty because the corner route is extremely difficult to defend from my perspective.
What we just saw there, is that sort of the evolution of the tight end position?
Yeah, I think it is because more and more, tight ends are being treated like wide receivers. These are some agile players who can make a play in any spot on the field.
Now a 2-time 1,000-yard rusher for the Bears. This is Jordan Howard. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. Tackle made by the third-round pick out of Louisiana, Tracy Walker.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
5 yards on first down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on second.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
For the Lions, an extra DB in the game now here on third down.
Hey, Ford, Tokyo! List by two.
Working from the gun, Wentz. Ertz has it left side. And he's got the first down, yardage before being taken down at midfield. An Eagle first down, Wentz to Ertz.
At first glance, I thought he just used his size in order to win the route, but he also had a little subtle move in there as well. Made the defender think he was going one direction and was able to track the ball in another.
You ain't doing nothing today. Down the man inside, down the man. Crack zone. Watch out.
We're scoreless after one. Now second quarter action from Philadelphia, and it's the Eagles in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. From midfield, here's Wentz. Ertz over the middle. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. The Eagle passing game looking good on this drive. It's a first down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. Damon Harrison bringing in 341 pounds of power for the sack. Defense went 3-4. They got some push from the inside.
And this is something in a 3-4 you don't normally get because the nose tackle who got the sack, he's usually responsible or ends up getting double-teamed and sometimes triple-teamed. How about him working his way back and putting the big guy on the ground?
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down.
10-5-7.
Wentz now to throw. And the pressure gets to him again. Nick Perry able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon.
Well, nothing takes a start to have a good drive quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
No, now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. Shotgun now for Wentz. Caught by the tight end Ertz. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on 4th. Seems as if the passing attack's starting to heat up a little bit here in the second quarter.
You can sense and you can see the momentum because now they're reading their patterns downfield, they're understanding the coverages, and they're finding the open holes in the defense.
That's on target, but it's no good. He had it on line, but it came up just shy of the crossbar, and this will remain a scoreless game. All things considered, a pretty good kick, just cruel punishment there to be denied by the crossbar.
If you're going to hit from that distance, sometimes you're going to need a little luck, and unfortunately for him,
and the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked. Nigel Bradham flying in and laying the lumber defensively.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
The pass complete, this one to Danny Amendola. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Stafford. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
Good open field tackling there. A 50-yard punt followed by just a 1-yard return. A reminder, coming up later tonight, a lot of buzz about this game. The Browns, they've been doing some travel. Back-to-back primetime games for them. Monday night they were in New York. Now the Browns head to Los Angeles to take on the NFC champs, Browns and Rams. An 8:20 kickoff Eastern time, 5:20 in California. A good pick up there, 26 yards. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line.
Let's pin the mirrors back and go full straight.
On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Sunday. You ready? Kill. Run on. Kill.
On 2nd down and 4. Wentz. And this is Ertz with it, right side. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 12 yards there and a 1st down.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. On 1st down, they run with Howard. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
2 minutes on the clock in what's been a scoreless first half. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. And Justin Coleman brings him down. Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive is going pretty well. I could come right back at them.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And we have action on the scoreboard just before halftime. It's 3-0. So after 2 unsuccessful attempts, this time he's able to find the range, and he gets his guys the lead.
And we wondered whether those 2 misses would come back to haunt him. They still might, but at least he's able to get some sort of redemption and get his guys back in front.
Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And in a spot like this, still more than a minute, I think if you put something on the board before halftime, that would go a long way towards helping them get back into the game.
There actually is something to the psychology of the game at times, isn't there? How much better would they feel running into the locker room, as you noted, with something on the board in a positive fashion? You're exactly right. It's a great opportunity to get that done.
Now here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. From the 50, Stafford. Open man is Galladay, complete. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. Throwing again on 2nd down. Stafford. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Zach Brown picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. Here's Sam Martin now. He's been terrific so far. That'll be a 48-yard punt, 1 yard on the return. And the Eagles will be backed up deep to get the drive started as they take over 1st and 10. Jordan Howard and the rest of the offense heading back out there. He's only had a couple of carries. I mean, when you've got a horse like this, second quarter, got to start to ride that horse a little more, don't you?
You can't just neglect him. He's got to touch it, and often, in order to get maximum out of him. Typically, these types of backs, it's the accumulation of carries, and that's when you see the damage as the game goes on.
Yeah, let's see. They're going to try to get him into the flow, we would assume here. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive, first down.
No.
Throwing on first is Wentz. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Trey Flowers, the former Arkansas Razorback, in there to get him. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. So we've reached halftime, and we will skip the highlight show this week. Get right back to this Week 3 matchup. These offenses seemingly still back at the hotel for the first half. 3-0 our score as the second half gets underway. And a good effort on the return there. Gets them across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that. To throw again on second down. Wentz. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
It's so important to tackle well against these guys, but you and I both know that's easier said than done. When the guy you're trying to tackle looks like this guy.
And it's usually going to take more than one man to get him down, and it did right there. Wentz now hitting on 2/3 of his passes, 10 for 15 so far. 1st and 10. Now Wentz. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Now Wentz. And this time he's got the hookup. It's complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 12 yards there and a first down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Wentz going to throw. There's the first NFL catch for the former Stanford man, J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. A gain of 6 there on first.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense...
And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack. Trey Flowers able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
That's his 2nd sack of the game. And the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack.
Lefty.
Here's Wentz to throw. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
So we get a look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally because they've done all of nothing offensively in this game, yet they still find themselves in a position on this drive where a touchdown can give them the lead. They need to take advantage of it.
And they're still looking for that first touchdown here in the 3rd quarter. All they have so far, the field goal. A throw over the middle, taken in. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 16 yards, a first down.
They all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 10 more there and another first down.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
It's another 10 yards on that one and another first down. They go play action here on first down. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Nigel Bradham getting him once again, his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack. The ex-Iowa Hawkeye Mike Daniels in for the sack.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Another try after the first down sack. Wentz knocking it away there defensively, Justin Coleman. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
The Eagles on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This will be 3rd and forever. Now Wentz. And Jeffrey's got it. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, Find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Wentz now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Watch the screen. Watch twist.
On 2nd and 9. Wentz firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a first down on a gain of 10. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
So 2 first downs, and that moves the ball to the 42 now, 1st and 10.
Crunch.
From the gun, it's Wentz. Left side here to Sanders. It'll be a gain of 6, and that'll make this a 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Hey, empty. Man 5-7.
To throw is Wentz. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's down right around midfield after a gain of 2, maybe 3.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
The Eagles on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 2. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Got a man, he finds Sanders. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on 3rd down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively a backbreaker. Wentz now on 1st down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line.
How about the timing on that one? Boy, they were in sync, weren't they? 3-step drop, balls out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice.
This drive's taken more than 3 minutes off the clock already as they come up on 2nd down.
Hey, Lou.
On the handoff, this is Howard. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and just like that, it's 3rd down.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word. Put it in bold. Here we go. Wentz can pull it down when he needs to, and the 6'5" quarterback picks up the 1st down.
All right, partner, I'm a defender, but I've got to express my admiration there. Moving around, making it happen, and instead of worrying about protecting himself, he goes and gets the 1st down. I've got to give it to him on that one.
Normally, you don't want your guy taking shots, your quarterback, but it's winning time here in the 4th quarter. If he needs to make those plays with the legs, go ahead, right?
Yeah, no doubt about it. At this stage of the game, all protections, they're off.
Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
And I think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
This is 3rd and 2. Maybe the biggest play in this football game.
Hey, ram. Kill.
They'll try to run for it with Howard. And he picks up the 1st down yardage as he takes it down to the 16. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
Well, they didn't accomplish their goal. They didn't get a stop there, gave up another first down. They have all 3 timeouts in their pocket. I think defensively, you've got to start thinking about using them here.
I was just going to ask you at what point you think now's the go time?
I think now's the go time. I don't think you sit back and wait because they can take a lot of time off the clock between plays and run 3 to 4 and really put you in a stressful spot.
On first, they go right back to Howard. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up first and goal.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. First quarter, Charles, you really emphasized the importance of winning the turnover battle as a visiting team, as an underdog. They haven't forced a single turnover in this game.
And right now they're losing, so no turnovers might lead to no victory.
The line of scrimmage, once again, the 5 as they get ready for second and goal. Now it's the all-purpose back. This is Darren Sproles. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. The second down play, not much better than the first. Just a gain of 1 there. Now the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right. But the problem for them is still within a possession. So they can't just sit on it running the ball. They have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. They've got it 3rd and goal now as they look for that final touchdown to salt this one away. Working from the gun, Wentz. Got him in, open, it's Ertz. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Zach Ertz, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Eagles add 6 to their lead.
Well, that was absolutely ideal for them, wasn't it? Trying to salt this game away. I think one of my kids just graduated in the amount of time they have the football.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. So tried to throw it in for 2 points, but the D got home, brought him down.
It got home, which means there had to be good coverage. Just had nowhere to go with the ball. Typically, you try and throw quick hitters, quick slants, maybe even a quick fade. Nothing was open. He ends up getting sacked.
And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. So Stafford and the Lions now down by 12. A minute 55 remaining. They're in danger of a 3rd straight loss as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's Stafford. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down. Clock running, about to hit 90 seconds to go in the game. To the right and complete to Galladay. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Out of the gun, Stafford. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Here's Stafford. It's caught. Jones. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a 1st down. Throwing a Stafford. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Nigel Bradham in there to drop him as that clock continues to run. And Jones has it over the middle. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds remaining. Throwing on third down, Stafford. And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked. Derek Barnett able to maneuver in for the sack. Stafford under pressure again, and down he goes again. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and that'll be just about all she wrote for this one. So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. The Eagles in the victory formation as they take a knee. And whistles, and they take their final timeout with 7 seconds left.
Go. Let's go, tight end. Let's go.
And they take a knee. So it's a victory here for the Philadelphia Eagles, and they did it in shutout fashion. Impressive.
Would it be too bland of a statement to say they didn't have the greatest day offensively?